Do you ever wish it all would just quiet down? All the chatter, noise of the world? Ever wish one day you wake up, go to your platform addiction of choice, and find that the world just isn't on fire anymore? You find out that all the worries about all the things constantly streaming into you, the gross ignorance of fundamental problems with our society, economy, way of life, entrenchment of ideologies, ever sinking more into the tribe of your choosing, drug abuse, gluttony, attention seeking, all of it. One day just stopped and went away. What if that happened? Sure seems to be that's what's going to happen if I just buy whatever is being sold by my team. Maybe it's due to my less than typical life experiences and upbringing, but I've thought about this question a lot. Before the pandemic, really all my life. The fuck is normal? Seems to me that the ball is always moving at what's normal, don't you think? How long ago was it that when two people with matching sets of chromosomes wanted to be married wasn't considered normal? I was working in an office when the Supreme Court ruled gay marriage legal, and I sat not but 5 feet away from a colleague who felt the need to keep his orientation under wraps. To be perfectly honest, I don't care if somebody is gay or straight, or even if I really need to know that information or not. But what I do care about, and what I cared about when my colleague told me, was that they felt the need to be quiet about it. They felt the need to have a hushed tone, speak softly, and try to hide their excitement at being able to openly express to someone who they are. That's not that long ago. And things are changing faster. That changed fast than they ever have. And our culture and law, like I cited above, is only part of the equation. Technology and the pace of moral conundrums that it brings is only getting faster, more complicated, and harder to see.
No man can fully grasp how far and how fast we have come. But condense, if you will, the 50,000 years of man's recorded history in a time span of but a half a century. Stated in these terms, we know very little about the first 40 years, except at the end of them, advanced man had learned to use the skins of animals to cover them. Then about 10 years ago, under this standard, man emerged from his caves to construct other kinds of shelter. Only 5 years ago, man learned to write and use a cart with wheels. Christianity began less than 2 years ago. The printing press came this year. And then less than 2 months ago, during this whole 50-year span of human history, the steam engine provided a new source of power. Newton explored the meaning of gravity. Last month, electric lights and telephones and automobiles and airplanes became available. Only last week did we develop penicillin and television and nuclear power. And now, if America's new spacecraft succeeds in reaching Venus, we will have literally reached the stars before midnight tonight. This is a breathtaking pace, and such a pace cannot help but create new ills as it dispels old. New ignorance, new problems, new dangers.
This whole thing, the whole time our species has existed, and the excess that we've brought is not that long ago. That speech was from 58 years ago. How much has changed since then, culturally, technologically, governmentally? Hell, JFK refers to the whole species of Homo sapiens as man. That's not something we would do today, but it's probably something we would do not that long ago. Here's two things that are strange but real. The truth, the capital T truth, almost never really exists. It exists as long as you are satisfied with the assumptions made at whatever point you choose to stop. For as long as you're okay with stopping and saying, well, why does that happen? The sun rises every day. That satisfies it. Every day that any sapien has been alive, the sun has risen. What if we dive deeper than that, though? What is the sun rising? How long has our collection of elements been circling this nuclear reactor? Well, in one very real dimension, the truth is the sun won't rise every day. It hasn't, and one day it will end. Here's the second part. When the truth does exist, in the sense you're allowing it to, it exists concurrently with multiple other facets, many often in conflict with one another. One can be happy and sad at the same time. A benefit over here can be a degradation over there. Hell, this is being recorded right now, and no doubt the best time to be a sapien from both a safety and ease of living than ever before. It is also, outside of times of extreme climactic events, the most depressing time to be a sapien. Anxiety, depression, despair. In the long-tail course in the life of our species, this is an extremely saddening time to be alive. We have more ways to be connected, but never felt so alone. We have all the world's knowledge at our fingertips, but we find compelling videos on trending topics more worth our time. 30 years ago, if you wanted to learn anything from an instrument through gardening, your best bet was a friend, instructor, or the damn library. Now, you go on YouTube, and someone can learn just about anything. You can watch any show, movie, or game that's ever existed, or you can watch someone else watching any show, movie, or game. You name it. Dickens' Tale of Two Cities has never had more data to back it up, zip code by zip code, than now. And the pace of all this, culture, technology, and the conundrums they bring, is only getting quicker. And that's not even to say that it will continue, because nothing says that it will. Things can all change in an instant, and they frequently do. When something does radically change in the blink of an eye, the result of such an outcome was probably ever present or building for some time. With the truth lying in some combination of both, everything, neither, numerous other factors, none of it makes for an easy narrative. So what's the way out? What is there to do? Well, I've been working on something. Something to call the game out, set the board, explain the pieces, how they intertwine, pressures, levers, incentives, decentives. I've been working on this for quite some time, and it's not ready. So what I'm going to do with this is a bit of a rolling build. I need to gather all the pieces together, get my knowledge up, and why not allow anyone else who wants to have a seat at the table to come along for the ride? While I'm producing this podcast, I only hope to do one thing: spark curiosity in those that are listening. Here's the path of what I'm interested in, what I'm curious to learn more for the work that I'm doing, and I hope you find new things to be curious about as well. The show is going to be broken up into 3 different types of episodes. Interviews, where I'm talking with an individual on a topic looking to learn more. Conversations, where I'm letting you in on a chat I'm having with someone. No real agenda, just someone else with me seeing where the conversation goes. And audio essays, where I walk you through an idea, concept, background, or way of thinking. I have a big, bold plan with all this, and everything exists in motion. So welcome to the start, and thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoy.